So the year 2016 has been shit for everyone, from exploding smartphones to people losing their complete goddamn minds. The year hasn't been kind to rationality and common sense. But has it been good for films? Yes. Yes, it has. Welcome everyone to the Bucket List Reviews. My name is Gibran and this is finally my top 10 films of 2016. Now the reason why the list is late is because I wanted to take my time and watch each and every film that I considered worthy of being on this list. Got a lot of great suggestions, a few surprises here and there, and I can finally now reveal my best film of the year. But since there were so many great films this year, I wanted to expand this list a little bit to top 20 films of 2016. Why? Because it's my list and I can do whatever I want. So with that stated, let's kick right off with the part 1 of the best films of 2016, ranging from 20 to 11. Number 20. Your Name. Your Name is an anime film directed by Makoto Shinkai and follows an extremely cliché storyline of a boy and a girl switching bodies. But there's a real twist behind this. I think apart from the spectacular animation, the talent of the film clearly lies in Shinkai's writing, as both of the characters, even though annoying at first, ends up being much more human than you would think. There's a very clever twist near the second act that I won't spoil it for you guys, but that for me made this film one of the best of 2016. The only reason why it's so low on my list is the annoying Japanese pop songs and anime cliches that kept me taking out of the experience. But this is just a minor complaint. If you're into anime or even curious about it, Your Name might definitely be a memorable watch. Number 19. Hacksaw Ridge. A Christian film that's actually good? Well, that isn't much of a surprise since Mel Gibson is the one behind the camera, and I do think Mel Gibson is a very competent director, even if he's making some bad films in the process. The film tells a real-life story of Desmond Doss during the Second World War, who being a faithful Christian, vowed never to take anyone's life, even when he's deployed at the battlefield. The first half hour of the film is a bit too cliched at first, but once Doss is recruited into the US Army, that's where the film displays its greatest assets. Ever since Braveheart, Mel Gibson has proven once again how craftily he can capture action set pieces on the battlefield without losing its real-life consequences. The blood and gore is utterly real, and the film never becomes too preachy with its approach. And the fact that such characters and incidents actually occurred makes this one of the best anti-war films of the year. Let's see if Nolan can top this off with his film Dunkirk. Number 18. Arrival. Denis Villeneuve brings us yet another diverse, genre-blending film to the screens of Hollywood. Arrival is the story of Amy Adams, who is currently struggling with her tragic past, but suddenly, mysterious extraterrestrial spaceships land on Earth. But for what purpose are they here? Apart from the premise, what makes the film memorable for me is its unique visual depiction of the aliens and their language. Amy Adams gives a good performance. The score brings a chill down your spine at times, and although this film could have been more than what it is due to its slightly lackluster third act, Villeneuve's Arrival very much deserves its place on this list. Number 17. Toni Erdmann. Toni Erdmann is a quirky, well, as quirky as German can get, comedy of a joyful, silly, happy-go-lucky dad and a serious yet slightly troubled daughter. In order to spend more time with her, her dad disguises himself as Toni Erdmann, a capitalist entrepreneur, to surprise his daughter who works in Bucharest. Toni Erdmann is surprisingly quite fantastic and unique in its comedic set pieces. A film that could have been a cliché by the numbers comedy is brought to life by the performances from the two main leads and a very cleverly written script from the director Marine Ade. So if you're looking for an offbeat comedy that has intelligent social commentary, Toni Erdmann is certainly worth a watch. Number 16. The Witch. The Witch came as a complete surprise to me. With a barrage of crappy horror films thrown onto the screens these days, this film stands undoubtedly tall. The Witch is a story of a family that is expelled from their village and are forced to live in solitude in the wild. After certain eerie occurrences, the family starts to doubt one another, as the witch might certainly be disguised amongst them. With such precise level of detail in the dialect and the atmosphere of the 17th century New England, The Witch is a brilliant directorial debut from Robert Eggers. What I greatly appreciate about this film is that it purposely avoids jump scares, but rather creates a slow tension atmosphere for its viewers. And even with such amazing critical reviews, this film has largely been ignored by the audience and the film awards alike. Personally, I found the film to be extremely chilling and skillful in creating that atmosphere. But don't let the generic title fool you, this film is as unique as it gets. Number 15. The Nice Guys. The Nice Guys. It's a shame that such a unique film was never fully appreciated by the moviegoers and was almost a flop at the box office. This is why we can't have nice things. You see what I did there? Because the title of the film is The Nice Guys. The Nice Guys is a fantastic homage to the 70s buddy cop genre. Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling as a duo are hilarious and have such great chemistry together. Shane Black, the director of the film, really deserves credit for creating an original comedy and a barrage of remakes, reboots, soft reboots, and other crap that is thrown into the cinema nowadays. The Nice Guys consists of sex, violence, comedy, action. What's not to love? Number 14. Hunt for the Wilder People. Nope, I didn't say the title wrong. That's exactly how it is. This is a new comedy from Taika Waititi from New Zealand. Last year, he directed one of my favorite comedies, What We Do in the Shadows, and I can say this with much certainty that he's bound to be the next Edgar Wright of cinema. The film is essentially a father and adopted son story where the circumstances of them being wartime criminals brings them closer together. With clever writing and hilarious dialogue delivery, Hunt for the Wilder People is a surprise sleeper hit of 2016. If only more critics could acknowledge his presence, this film could definitely win over many moviegoers and probably my favorite comedy of the year. Well, second favorite, but we'll get into that later. Number 13. Manchester by the Sea. This drama is directed by Kenneth Lonergan and stars Casey Affleck of what I could sincerely consider to be the performance of his career. The film's plot plays as a revelation as the pieces of the puzzle are slowly put together, pitting the past against the present. Now I really won't want to spoil the plot for you, as it's extremely rewarding for the viewer to discover and understand the narrative for themselves. Manchester by the Sea is full of fantastic performances from Affleck, Kyle Chandler, the young Lucas Hedges, and not surprisingly, a really fantastic performance from Michelle Williams. Even though she's only there for a brief period of time in the film, she steals every scene she's part of, especially the confrontation near the end. As a side note, Williams' crying scene in the film is genuinely heartbreaking because when normal people cry, their faces cringe inward and become harder to talk, unlike the single tear Hollywood sexy cry. Look it up, I'm not even kidding. So if you're looking for a compelling drama from 2016, you can't go wrong with Manchester by the Sea. Number 12. Tower. Tower is a film that played at the Film Festival Cologne, but unfortunately clashed with another film that I wanted to watch. Let's just say I regret my decision because Tower is certainly in a class of its own. Tower is a documentary which retells the 1966 University of Texas Tower massacre. On August 1st, a lone ex-Marine sniped 49 civilians and killed 18 people. What separates Tower from any other generic documentary is the use of colorful rotoscopy and blending it with interviews from the survivors of the massacre. By creating a collage of animation with newsreel footage, Keith Mayland has retold the horrific story in a new light and brought us much closer to the experience. Also worth mentioning is that the documentary goes out of its way not to glamorize the killer in any way. The film strictly focuses on the survivors and their tales. There's nothing glamorous about hunting down innocent civilians, folks. And I wish mainstream media could also take its cues from this film. But with all said and done, Tower also makes you wonder, what had you done in such a situation? Hide behind a pillar or risk your life to save someone else's? Either way, Tower is the second best documentary I saw in 2016. Number 11. Patterson. Patterson is yet another deadpan comedy by the father of American indie filmmaking, Jim Jarmusch. The film lived with constant repetition of mundane everyday life of a bus driver named Patterson, who coincidentally lives in the city of the same name. And unlike Boyhood, the lack of dramatic events are very rewarding in this film. You get the perfect sense of mundane yet comfortable life that Patterson experiences, and beautiful cinematography and performance from Adam Driver. Patterson is a film that should not be missed on the big screen.